Greetings, this is Fern from Andrew H back with you once again. I don't know how long I've been away. Has it been 2 days, 3 days, 4 days? I don't know. Unfortunately, Skyrim has its grasp on me once again. This time it's the Xbox version, not the PC. And yeah, I've been just spending every possible chance I have on that game and playing it pretty much non-stop. God damn it, Skyrim, why are you so good? But yeah, this time I'm playing as an Algonian I've named Sleeps in Snow. I imagine that when he was a young Algonian, he would play in the snow and mountains of Skyrim, and his family would look at him in strange ways, thinking, "How the hell can you do that?" Because in case you don't know, Algonians live in a place called Blackmarsh in this world. Which is a very humid swampland. And I also have a great amount of respect for Argonians because they are badass lizard men. And I'm not going into it, that's like a whole new video, but let's just say that nobody fucks with Argonians, right? People do. People were rather racist towards Argonians. They always have been, but fuck, they're Argonians, fuck you. But anyway, I'll try and get screenshots, but it is the Xbox version, so, yeah. So that's 1 minute 23 wasted on talking about Skyrim. Nothing about freaking kin whatsoever. Anyway, this video is mainly aimed at one guy who's commented on one video on the TheriKiNexus about it all being basically wishful thinking and living out fantasies and fan fiction and that kind of crap, which is wrong. It's just completely wrong. Okay. And of course, they come out with the tired but reasonable argument that they're all desirable animals. They're all likable animals. Interestingly enough, though, he gave a naked mole rat as a non-desirable animal. Maybe it's Kim Possible that I used to watch when I was younger. That spoiled me. But I think naked mole rats are cool. And whether something is cool or not is often about perception. I mean, there is a scorpion on this channel, on the TheriKiNexus, and there's also, I think a kind of sea slug. I'm not entirely sure. But both cool animals. Both cool animals that many people would probably not think are cool. But hell, I'm an animal lover. I'm arachnophobic, and I think spiders are cool. So, yeah. Why the hell do you think I want to photograph nature for a fucking living? But, the fact that most of us are wolves, or we're all wolves, and it's just kind of... Yeah, I can understand the argument, but honestly, I've said this so many times before, and I'm going to say it again. I was always a reptile guy. I didn't really care that much about wolves. They were just big dogs to me. This was before I awoke. I'll try and get pictures of my room. And I guess it's a clusterfuck, but I like to think of it as an incredible expression of myself. And yes, this was taken at the time, around the time that I did this video, obviously. So there is a lot of wolf things out there, but a lot of the original dragon stuff is up there. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with dinosaurs. Dinosaurs fascinated me. So a lot of family members for Christmas and birthdays bought me books on dinosaurs, and I fucking loved it. It was awesome. These huge, just incredible creatures, some with feathers, that roamed the earth millions of years ago. It's so cool. Admittedly, a lot of the books I have now are completely out of date and wrong, because we've learned nothing since then. Woo! Science! It develops and grows. I could say something about religion now, but I won't. But yeah, I mean, I've heard about certain theories about dinosaurs not being actual reptiles, because there's evidence of them living in incredibly snowy and cold environments, which reptiles would just not be able to live in. So perhaps they're warm-blooded. Interesting, huh? And I'm also one of these people that hold the controversial opinion that that T-Rex was indeed a scavenger, kind of like hyenas. Sure, they'd hunt when the opportunity arose, but they would be primarily scavengers. I'm sorry, but an animal like that could not run after food. It would fall flat on its face and it would not be able to get up. It is not a good, I don't want to say design, but it is not a great design. I'm sorry. But after dinosaurs, I discovered dragons. And fuck, did I love dragons. Dragons are incredibly freaking cool. I've always been more partial to the Eastern dragons more than the Western, lung dragons and that kind of thing. In the West, we just wanted to kill them. Evil dragon, stop! In the East, it was they folded into their spirituality. They were spirits of water and air and all that cool shit. I like the long dragons. Long dragons are cool. Don't get me wrong, I like Western dragons as well, but long dragons are cool. We need to see more long dragons. And then, of course, there's Falcor, the long dragon from the Neverending Story, which, mainly because of him and for some other reasons, will remain one of the greatest kids movies ever, and a complete fuck you to everything being in CGI. CGI is fine. There is CGI in the Neverending Story, but you need some puppets. You need animatronics in there as well, But yeah, dragons, and then it wasn't like one after the other, but it was around the same time. Reptiles. Reptiles are just really cool animals. I've always been a reptile amphibian guy. Reptiles are incredibly cool animals. And I also have this love for the platypus as well. It's not a reptile, but it's the living embodiment of individuality and uniqueness. Platypi are awesome. It's a duck-billed, beaver-tailed mammal that has freaking that has ducky web feet, and the males have venom glands. Like, hell yes! So, wow, this has gone for 7 minutes. So, why would I choose to be a wolf? If this is a choice, why would I choose to be something incredibly common? I didn't even know about the king community until I awoke. I didn't know. I found it after I awoke, and I was wondering what the fuck was going on with me. Why was I acting differently? Why was this going? What is happening to me? Why is this going on? What's wrong with me? And eventually I found the king community, and it's like, oh, thank God. Not that just because a lot of people believe. I don't believe that just because a lot of people believe it means there's something to it, or that it means it's right. Just because a lot of people believe or think something doesn't mean it's true. A lot of people believe that there's a creator of the world. Probably not true. I'm sorry. If you're religious, I'm sorry, but yeah. So yeah. But I found the king community. It was like, oh, thank God, this is what's going on with me. Okay. Why wolves? Why wolves? Why would I, finger quote, choose to be an animal I didn't really care about up until that moment? Why would I choose that? Why not choose a cooler animal, like, again, platypi, or some kind of reptile? Did you know that monitor lizards are the most size-wise diverse group of animals on the planet? There are monitor lizards that are only a few millimeters long, and there are monitor lizards like the Komodo fucking dragon. Which, incidentally, we used to see, and it has this horrible reputation of being this vicious, bloodthirsty monster that would go out of its way to kill everything in its path in gruesome ways. While its way of hunting is still pretty gruesome, it's actually incredibly intelligent. Monitor lizards are really intelligent reptiles. They have the same amount. Some kinds of monitor lizards, most kind of monitor lizards, have the intelligence that rivals a dog. In fact, certain groups will pick up things much quicker than a dog. Monitor lizards are incredibly cool animals. Reptiles are cool animals. When I was younger, I had this really just obsession with the Jackson's chameleon. It's a freaking reptile that changes its body color has this badass tongue that shoots out like a harpoon, can move its eyes any direction, you know, and individually, and has horns. Hell yes! Why would I choose to be a wolf? Wolves are essentially wild dogs. Yeah, but there's a lot of things we humans have in common with wolves. A lot of things we have in common with humans have in common with wolves. There's a lot of things to identify with. But why would I, finger quote, choose to be a wolf when it's pretty obvious that I love certain other animals far more than I love wolves? I'm sorry. Yeah, I can understand why people think that. Yeah, wolves are cool animals, but have you noticed that most kin are mammals? You know, we humans are mammals. Most kin have mammal kin types. That's because it's far easier to have some kind of connection to a mammal or even a bird than it is to, say, reptiles or invertebrates. And if I could choose, I'd be a fucking platypus. I'd be, or a freaking Komodo dragon, or a Jackson's chameleon. I'd be something cool. Hell, I could even be a dinosaur kin. You know, like a freaking, fuck it. Say, I'll be a fucking turkey, like a freaking velociraptor. You know, or a Liplorodon. Really cool, huge, incredible animals. Why would I choose to be something as mundane as a wolf? When you think about all the other animals in existence, why would you choose something that most people have in their house, essentially? I have a Yorkshire Terrier. Doesn't have much of a wolf, but it's along the same bloodline. It's a dog. You know, why would I choose something so mundane as a wolf when I could choose far more cooler animals? And yes, this is the oh woe is me, I'm a wolf argument, but you know what? It makes a lot of fucking sense. If I could choose, I wouldn't be a wolf. I'd be a lizard. I'd be some kind of reptile. Most likely a Jackson's chameleon. So, yeah, I'm sorry. And honestly, if there are depending on your kin type and you're listening to this, think of all the different animals around the world. You know, some cooler than others. And think, if you could choose, what would you be? You know, and then in the comment section, tell me what your kin type is, and then tell me what you would choose to be. Hell, I would choose to be a dragon as well. Dragons are freaking cool. I would be a part dragon, part platypus. The greatest fuck. I'd be a platypus that can breathe fire and ice, and have huge reptilian dragon-like wings. Oh yeah, that's what I'd be. And have horns like a Jackson's chameleon, and can move their eyes around like a Jackson's chameleon. Oh my god, that's like the coolest and most freaky looking animal ever. I love it. But yeah. My theory is the fact that most mammals and certain kinds of birds even some aquatic mammals as well, are far easier to connect with than other groups like reptiles, amphibians, and vertebrates. That's probably why most people are mammals. You know, and around that, it's felines and canines. You know, like the kind of pets we have, what we're used to, what we can identify with, what we know a lot about with, you know, personal experience. That's why I think most people are mammals, like wolves, and most people have dogs other than cats. And that's my personal opinion as to why there are most kin are mammals, especially felines and canines. So this is from Angel H giving you your much needed braingasm. Platypi and frickin' Jackson's chameleons are the greatest animals ever. I'm sorry, wolves are mundane.